Have you ever asked yourself, why do we collect? From the time that we were children, our life have been shaped by characters and stories that inspired us. Stories that opened our imagination, animation that captivated us, scenes that we will never forget from the anime, video games, and comic books that we will keep visiting over and over and over, and it will always be part of us. I can proudly say that Figurama Collectors is a company from the fans to the fans, from the collectors to the collectors, and for that we have innovated the market by lots of advancement in statue design and production. We have done the most complex pieces in the market, and for that we have won the favorite company of 2019, and we have officially been recognized by the country of Japan for our contribution to the advancement of the Japanese pop culture around the world.
And Trigun is my all-time favorite manga, so of course I've turned to collecting Trigun. I own the entire figurine collection at this point. It's been many years in searching and collecting, but no company had dared to touch Trigun in a large-scale resin high-quality format until Figurama Collectors came along. So as I am searching for these pieces, here on my dashboard is this 1/4 scale Vash the Stampede 20th Anniversary Edition statue, and I'm immediately in love with it. So I look into this company, I join the community, I get involved, I want to be a part of this. And as I'm just communicating with other fans and I'm sharing my passion, Figurama reaches out to me with a job offer. And I had to pinch myself over the next year of working for them, thinking there's no way this is happening, there's no way I'm actually working for a figurine company. This is a dream come true. This is something I've always wanted to do, something I've always seen as a pipe dream.
The Figurama team contacted me through my ArtStation portfolio, and they asked me to do a sample for the licensed Tokyo Ghoul. After they approved it, we moved forward to work on the new faces for Touka and Tsukiyama. Working with Daniel Kamarudin and Mr. Shanab was a great experience, so soon after I became a full-time 3D artist.
Actually, like whenever we have decided to create Figurama Collectors, that came from the gap that we found in the market, that it was mostly museum pose. So Figurama came with the idea that we need to break the museum pose statues and add our dynamic style to the market, which I can proudly say that we have successfully achieved that, and it became a trend after Figurama Collectors to create a dynamic statues with utmost details. I never felt that I am working at Figurama Collectors because basically I am doing my passion. I am practicing my passion in a daily basis with a team that is around the world, and I am sure all Figurama Collectors team, they share the same feeling and the same values of myself. We have a team around the world in US, Finland, Malaysia, China, Japan, Kuwait, and more countries, and alignment and synergy is a key point in Figurama Collectors. So we practice daily calls, daily meetings to maximize the synergy with the worldwide multicultural team that support this great brand. And as a fun fact, I can accurately say, literally, we work 24 hours a day because we cover all the areas of the world, and we will never stop creating and innovating for our collectors.
My role on the team is to sculpting full anime dioramas or improve the work of made by other artists, based on the licensor feedback, Figurama team feedback, or my personal anime knowledge. My responsibility in this role is that all statues are accurate to the license and that projects are polished and meet the expectation of the Figurama team. Making anime statues that represent the soul of the license is extremely hard because anime fans are very sensitive if the character don't resemble the anime. So for that reason, I put a lot of attention to represent the anime license as accurate as possible.
As PR manager, I have the very important role of sharing what we do with the community. It's not just about advertising. In fact, I never like to think about my role as a role of advertising because to me, I am communicating the soul of the company to people all around the world, communities of Figuramians in every country. I want them to understand what is the intention of this piece. What is the work and the quality and the detail that we have poured into each and every one of our statues? So along with that comes very elaborate campaigns. Being a fan of these stories is one of the best parts of working at Figurama Collectors, because when those campaigns roll around, I am able to really let my geek cred show. I'm also in charge of the social media team, so I work closely with Shad Cross, Sarah Steven, people who are kind of like our local celebrities out in our social media teams. Getting to work with them, letting them take what I create and work their magic with it has been very, very rewarding.
I'm the office manager at the Kuwait office, and as an office manager, I ensure that the team around the world is well aligned with our team, with our company goals, and I'm also responsible for the accounting and finance functions of Figurama Collectors.
I wouldn't say that I have a favorite statue in Figurama Collectors because all of them are my babies. But I would say Alucard of Helsing is one of the best statues that we have ever done in terms of details and complexity. I would say like my second favorite piece in Figurama Collector is Kaneki vs. Yamori by Tokyo Ghoul. It's a highly dynamic piece and full of details and Easter eggs that it made a great movement and buzz once it was released in the market. Also, it's the award-winning statue of 2019. And I would say that hopefully all of our statues that they will be an award-winning. And that's the thing that we always keep in mind when we design our statues. Every single design, it must be an award-winning.
My favorite thing about my job is working in anime licenses, doing highly detailed sculptures. I'm a big fan of anime and Japanese pop culture, and the fact that I'm being able to represent the best scene in a diorama is very fulfilling.
I would say the most rewarding part of working for Figurama is just getting to let my geek cred show. I'm literally doing my hobby for my job, and that's a true blessing to be able to say that and work with a group like this. But to me, I think one of the most rewarding parts of working at Figurama is that I can see my fingerprint on every statue we create. And that's not unique to me. Our team works very closely together. We're all fans, we're all collectors, we're very passionate about what we do. So we look at the prototypes, we look at the production process, and we're able to make those changes, make those suggestions, say, the hair color should be a little more like this, or let's throw in this Easter egg, this hidden reference, on the back of the statue. That'll be a nice shout out to the original manga, or to the fans, or to the anime, or this spin-off material. So it's so rewarding to look at a piece and say, I'm the one that made the suggestion on that color change or on that detail. I would say that is my favorite part, is just getting to give back to the industry in that way.
Frankly, everything about my job is amazing, but if you ask me what is the one favorite thing for me, I would say that I love having a voice. At Figurama Collectors, we don't just follow whatever tasks we are given, but we also work in a collaborative environment, and for me personally, this is the best thing.
In Figurama Collectors, I would say our greatest asset is our team that is distributed around the world. We have a multicultural team that we are proud of, and the alignment and synergy that it provides, it's making a big difference to our day-to-day operations.
Castlevania license was announced a couple of weeks ago and is currently in development, and I think it will be my favorite statue. One of the ones that are there in stock. My favorite one is Rurouni Kenshin, because the diorama is beautifully crafted and is the battle between two of my favorite characters, Kenshin and Shishio.
My favorite Figurama Collector statue is the one that started all of this and is one of my all-time favorite stories, and that is Trigun Vash 20th Anniversary Collector's Edition. But even with that bias, I gotta say this is a really incredible piece, because one thing I love about Figurama's statues is they give you that feeling that you felt when you first experienced the story.
I am very proud of Figurama Collectors' dream team. I do appreciate every single member of this dream team. I do appreciate what they do and they provide from their heart, I would say, because each one of them comes with a unique ethics and unique talents that they add to the team, which at the end it reach our end collectors or our end customers, I would say. For example, Casey, our public relation manager, she comes with a great heart and talent, which she provides always the best fun activities for our collectors around the world. Also, Stacy, that she is the team leader in Figurama Collectors, and she always come up with great ideas for our collectibles and our designs. Crystal from the head office, that she leads the office, and every single team member in Figurama Collectors, they always add something because everyone works from the heart. Something that I will always emphasize, that the collectors, they are our first source of inspiration. In Figurama Collectors Facebook group, which is the Figurama Collectors Hub, it's our great source of inspiration, motivation, and it's the main power that it gives us all the push that leads to creating these masterpieces that we see in the market. So we take their suggestions very seriously. We study all of their comments, all of their suggestions, and at the end we realize it of the masterpieces that fill our shelves.
The thing I love the most of Figurama is the passion for making statues that seems impossible to make. They are beautiful, elegant, and stunning. Figurama shows the ambition for doing things that nobody else in the market dare to do because of the complexity of the work. Other aspect I love about Figurama is how they take care of their customers by bringing high quality statues to an affordable price, while building a community of collectors that share the passion of having a Figurama piece. I read the comments on Facebook page when people receive their statues and are overwhelmingly positive, and it fulfills me as an artist.
I would say Figurama truly cares about its team. We're not employees, we're not numbers, we are a team. We work together, we're all passionate about what we do. And because we are collectors ourselves, we understand our community that we are creating these pieces for. We know what it is like to encounter a shipping difficulty, or we know what it's like to want that extra accuracy, those little nitpicky details that we as fans will notice and pick up on and want to change and approach. So I would say Figurama is a company that cares. I never feel like I'm just a staff member. I'm a part of the team. I'm innovative. I'm creative. I'm working with an amazing group of people. And Mr. Shanab, who is our CEO, is just phenomenal. I don't know how he does what he does. He probably sleeps 4 hours a day, honestly. He takes the time to know every single one of us. He speaks with us. He gets our input. We feel valued at Figurama Collectors, and that's what I love about this group.
The reason I love Figurama Collectors is because of our detail to quality and our dedication of every team member and the uniqueness of each and every statue that we make. This is what makes Figurama Collectors different, and it sets us apart.
So, the great energy and power from our dream team to the passionate collectors to our partners around the world, all of this synergy and alignment that we have, all of us together, that comes from the passion of collecting. All of that produces the masterpieces of Figurama Collectors. So at the end, I would say, keep on collecting. We are the collectors.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Cloud Matsuri. Jeremy Graves here, and we are live. That has been a fascinating look behind the scenes of Figurama Collectors, and we're taking this in a totally different direction now, everybody, because I am delighted to be joined by the CEO of Figurama Collectors, Mr. Shanab. Good sir, welcome to Cloud Matsuri. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much, Jeremy, for the amazing introduction. It's a great day. Thank you so much for having me here in Cloud Matsuri. I'm very, very excited about our conversation today. We got like lots of things to share with you for the first time, I would say. So yeah, I'm like just looking forward.
So, Mr. Shanab, forgive me for almost calling you out here right from the get-go, but I feel the need to draw the attention to something that is sat next to you right now, if I may, because that is quite a statue you have got next to you. Can you tell us more about this?
Yeah, sure. Actually, this is the first time ever that we are showing the production sample of a Bleach Ichigo versus Olquera. So this is the production sample. This is almost the final piece that the collectors are going to receive. So yeah, as you can see, it's fantastic. You know, like I don't think that we can show all the details with a cam, but definitely we will be revealing a few shots in the coming couple of days. So yeah, actually we have kept all the details, and as we have promised, the Zambakato of Bleach, it's a die cast metal, and the new thing, the collector that they haven't like, let's say they didn't know about, even the horns of Ichigo at the end we ended up doing it with the metal cast, metal die cast. So the details are absolutely beyond amazing, and I'm going right now to open the LED light.
Oh, wow.
So you can see the amazing energy that the clashing between both of them. And there is a great news for the collectors, because I came to know that everybody like were asking about, you know, the batteries, you know, like to like, because we usually do batteries for our statues, but this one is the first statue ever from Figurama Collectors that going to be with a rechargeable batteries, and you also have the option to run it by the cable. So you don't have to worry anymore about changing the batteries and whatsoever. So we have our own circuit system, because actually like there is tons of LEDs inside this one. It's huge. So yeah, I am sure that the fans are going to like that.
I'm going to be honest, I'm actually quite speechless right now. That is that is incredible. So just to reiterate there, folks, it's going to have a rechargeable battery in there, and there will also be the option to power in an AC cable as well, if I've understood that correctly.
Absolutely.
So, so there you go, everybody. And I feel the need just to ask now, Mr. Shanab, can you tell us vaguely or roughly perhaps how much this statue is going to weigh? Because that looks like that is a hefty piece of kit, if I do say so myself.
I didn't expect this question. That's a tricky question. Honestly, I'm like not sure exactly, but it's somewhere around 20 kg, maybe.
Oh my!
I think I think it's somewhere around the 20 kg. Yeah, like, but we definitely have to check that to be like more accurate, I would say. Yeah.
But suffice to say, it's heavy.
Yes, it is heavy. Yes, absolutely. And honestly, I wouldn't like lift it myself, because I don't want to drop it. There is too much details in it, and it's actually too difficult to produce, because the tiny details here are so sensitive. And let me tell you something. The chain that coming out of his sword, usually, like, you know, usually the statue companies, like, just to make it cheaper to produce, they fill the gaps between the chains. But actually we worked very hard to keep the exact hollow chain look, you know, like that. You really like can see that they are tied to each other, and we have the absolutely natural look of any chain, you know. So, and honestly, like, that cost a bit more to achieve that, but definitely it's a detail that we will like never sacrifice in our statue. Yeah.
I would like to think that for people watching, if there's one thing that has been made clear, both just looking at the statue next to you right now, as well as the mini documentary that we saw just a few moments ago, you guys do not cut corners, as it were. You go all out with this, you do your best, and you produce these incredible statues. So if I was wearing a hat, it would be hats off right now, because that is incredible. Honestly, I'm not just saying that. That is my genuine reaction.
Thank you so much, Jeremy. And I am very honest about that. Many times that it like cut from our profit later on in the production stage, like when we see there's an opportunity to enhance the statue, but we don't mind, because at the end, like we want to produce a masterpiece, like, and even though that a little cut from the profit along the way, it doesn't matter, as long as the collectors are going to own a piece that they will like never get tired gazing at. Yeah.
So, where do we go from there, everybody? There's all sorts of directions we could go. And actually, Mr. Shanab, if I can, I'm curious, because obviously you deal with so many anime licenses in general. So when it comes to Bleach specifically, do you have a personal history with the franchise?
Well, actually,
in the sense of, are you a fan of it yourself, perhaps, or how did you first discover it?
So actually, the team, like here in Figurama Collectors, they are big fans of Bleach. I watched it back, I think in 2003. I watched about 100 episodes, but like that time I was in college, so I didn't have the chance to watch all of it. But definitely, it was very fascinating for me in like terms of the art wise. It's very stylized, and like it have a great depth. It's like beyond good and evil, like black actually. So it's something really fascinating for me, like mostly the art of it. Like, but the team, they are huge fans, and they have been really insisting on having this license, and also our collectors. It have been voted countless times in our private Facebook group. So actually, like all of that, it like pushed us really to go ahead and take a Bleach license, definitely. But and definitely, it's not gonna be the last piece, because I honestly do believe that we give it its justice. Like to make a statue for a great license, you really like have to go above and beyond. It's like matter of respect for the license and for the taste of our collectors. So definitely there should be more of this license from Figurama Collectors, I would say. Yeah.
There you go, everybody. There's a little tidbit for you. I'm even more excited now.
Yes.
So, Mr. Shanab, we could talk about Bleach all day, but I know there's perhaps another little something that you wanted to make mention of today. So, I'm gonna leave the floor to you, as it were, once again, because I know there's another thing that you wanted to touch on.
Well, actually, we like want to release a license to like make an announcement for a license that, to be honest, this is a personal favorite of myself. It's something that I used to watch while I was a kid. And this license, just to give a hint, it's getting a remake very soon. And it was adapted from a game. It's old. So yeah, that's something that, I will leave it with our collectors, like to like guess what that license is going to be.
Interesting. There you go, folks. Start guessing. If you're in the chat room on YouTube, see if you can guess what it might be. Because I won't lie, I've got ideas running around in my brain. So, Mr. Shanab, when it comes to other projects that you currently have ongoing, I know that there was you wanted to tease something a little bit today regarding another upcoming project of Figurama's. So, can you tell us a little bit more about what we're going to be talking about now?
Sure. Definitely. We have got our first sci-fi piece by the license Blam, and it's something different for us. Actually, we have proved that we have done a great shonen pieces and vampire pieces, monster pieces. So we wanted to take this challenge with the Blam. Actually, again, that's a personal favorite of myself and the team. Casey, our PR manager, like which you have spoke with before we go live, she's a huge fan of Blam also. So honestly, like that was a challenge for us, like to make a great sci-fi piece that is going to be different because again, when we take a new license, we don't like just want to meet expectation. No, we want to exceed expectation. We want to add something to the sci-fi statues, and I do believe in this statue. Like once it go for the full reveal, hopefully soon, people are going to love it. But for today, we will just show them a little sneak peek of the painted prototype.
Yeah, so what we're going to show you now, everybody, we're going to show you a little sneak peek of this project of Blam. So on screen now, you should be checking that out. And there's a little tease for you, everybody. I mean, when it comes to Blam, let us know in the comments if you have seen the film before, because I know it's a very popular film. It has been released on home video here in the UK as well. It's had a few theatrical screenings as well. So I'll be very interested to see if people can guess what the project is ultimately going to look like or not.
Yeah.
So everyone, let us know what you think of that teaser. Very, very interested to hear what you think. And I must say, Mr. Shanab, in looking at that teaser, personally speaking, I get the feeling there's going to be a bit of a grim subject matter, as I may say. It feels like that someone did not have a good time in a battle, as it were.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I like wouldn't want to be in this guard position, I would say. Yeah. Definitely, like Kelly's cannon, the gun that he has, it just melt away anything that it like it's in front of him. So yeah, and I just wanna remind the collectors again that we are giving two heads for Kelly because it's a very popular manga and many collectors and fans, they love the manga look of him. So we will give them like two choices, either the manga head or the anime head. And
Okay.
this is the news that we are releasing for the first time as well.
So people who pre-order will get the choice of the manga head or the anime head.
Sorry?
So there will be the choice between the manga head and the anime head, as you said.
And both of them, they are going to be included in the box. So it's like up to them, like which head they want to swap.
So they can change over whichever one they want on display.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, well, there you go, folks. This keeps getting better. Flipping heck. So, folks, stay tuned for more news on Blam coming up very soon from Figurama Collectors. I am very curious, in case you can't tell already, what this is going to look like. And suffice to say, my bank account is currently fearing what lies ahead for the coming year. So, and folks,
coming year is like going to be full of surprises next year. So yeah, I think that should be the worry of the most.
And folks, I will say, and make sure you stick around until the end, because you never know, there might be something else to talk about before all is said and done today.
Yeah.
So with this being said, let's get to a little bit of a Q&A now, Mr. Shanab. So everyone who is in the YouTube chat, if you want to post your questions, start posting them in there, and we will get to as many as we can. And I know that we have some from the Figurama Collectors group as well. So starting off with one of those, Mr. Shanab, if I may. First of all, we have, I love the Versus collection that you guys have, but I was wondering, will we see more statues of characters fighting an onslaught of enemies like Alucard or Thor? I understand that this style won't work for some licenses, and if the news you can't, and it perhaps is news you can't talk about, but I appreciate your time for reading this.
Sure. No, like that's a very good question. Definitely. We have some of our pieces like a Trigun, Helsing. You can see that they're a solo, but a dynamic solo, different than the museum solo. And I would say with the upcoming license and announcement that we are going to make, there is a very good mix between the solo style and like a versus. Also, we will be announcing a new line, which is an elite solo. So I think that answers this fan question.
We're getting all sorts of tidbits today, blimey. I was not expecting that
Honestly, this is
either.
the first time, yeah. But you have your charm taking the, like the answers from me very easily,
Ah, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Effortlessly, yeah.
So we're going to a question on a more specific license now. So this question is, when will there be any updates on the Evangelion license? This is also from the Figurama Collectors group. They also add to this, seeing that you already have licenses for Naruto and Bleach, are you going to have One Piece, the last of the big three, as they put it, anytime soon?
Yes. So about Evangelion soon, that we will have an update. Hopefully, early next year, we will have a very good update for Evangelion. And yeah, as you can see that we got Dragon Ball. So we saved the big, like the like most popular license till the later stage. Why? Because we really wanted to prove ourselves with like more of a niche license. You get my point. I mean, like we don't want Figurama to be popular because we are just doing One Piece or Naruto or a Dragon Ball, but because we really do, like put our art to them, and even the collectors, they buy our statues, even though that they don't know or they haven't watched the anime. So to answer this question, definitely after Naruto, Dragon Ball, we will go ahead and tackle One Piece in the right time. But it is a license that we are interested to make, definitely.
There we go, everybody. So, Mr. Shanab, to throw a question from our YouTube chat, if I may. Someone is asking specifically well, this is literally the way they phrased it, any news about a Kenshin face update? That's a very direct way to answer that question.
Yes,
but
yes, definitely. And that's their right. Yeah, definitely. We will be showing that very soon. Yes, there is an update. It's looking great. And yes, we will be showing that pretty soon. Yeah, it's, like sometimes when we release or reveal the license, we like get some feedback about some areas, some of them like sometimes about the faces. We always listen and we see if it's a valid point. We go ahead and redo it up like let's say till we reach a great stage in the quality. So like, but definitely yes, there is an update and we will show it soon.
Thank you very much to Javier for that question in the YouTube chat. Next up, I'm just going to throw a lot of questions at you now, so we will see how we do here. From Lewis, is a third Tokyo Ghoul piece still planned?
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
There's your answer, Lewis.
Yeah, that's enough.
So this is a question more about your personal anime taste now, Mr. Shanab. So from Yaoi Overlord, what is your favorite all-time anime or manga?
Akira and Vampire Hunter D.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. These two are like a religion to me, like they're really great. And I do believe, like, especially Akira, it's a revolution, and I think that's the anime movie that got the attention of the West to like anime. The quality, the story, it was so much ahead of its time. That's definitely that's my favorite, and definitely Vampire Hunter D. Like that. It's like very personal anime to me. Yes, yeah.
If you don't mind me asking a little bit more, do you recall when you first saw both of those, or when you first experienced them?
Yes, definitely. Look, D, it was, I think, in 2000. It was, like in my early college years, and again, that's it was something unique, like I love vampire animes and mangas like Blood Plus and a bunch of others, but when I saw Vampire D, it have its unique atmosphere, like Amano's work that like influenced the anime. It's a masterpiece, I would say. Like so the flow of the story, all of the illustrations, it was perfect. So definitely that was during my college time. Akira, it was younger. Yeah, it like was around, I think 1998, 1997. I am not sure, but yeah, definitely I watch each above 20 times, 30 times, something like that. I like lost the count. Yeah. Yeah.
So, staying on the subject of your favorites, as it were, this question from the Figurama Facebook specifically. I'm sure every Figurama statue holds a special place in your heart, like it does mine, they say. But if you had to choose which one has been your favorite to work on thus far, could you pick one?
Alucard of Helsing. Actually, this is the bust. The real is statue is like over here. So actually, it's Alucard of Helsing. And like, don't get me wrong, all of them, they're like my kids, you know. But Alucard, it's a big challenge, and really have a change Figurama collectors, you know, like the way that we work, the way that we think, because we have done so complex statue in like early on in our journey in Figurama collectors. We didn't have like much experience. We didn't have like much the know-how. So it like just taught us things the hard way in all the aspects, and it was a great challenge to deliver what we have promised to the collectors. We could cancel this project a way back, to be honest, because the budget like wasn't accurate, the details was so much is exaggerated, but we took this challenge to heart, and we have decided to like move forward and go ahead and deliver the masterpiece to people. And honestly, I am very proud of the whole team that we achieved to deliver this fantastic piece to collectors, and make them happy lifelong, hopefully. Yeah.
So this next question from our YouTube chat, this is from
Yeah.
the username Nightmare Sculptures by Quick E. They
Yeah.
ask, how did you approach the first license in order to start an amazing company like Figurama is now? So very much going back in time to the beginning of things for Figurama.
Yeah. So like definitely I like was a collector, you know, like way back before Figurama Collectors, and definitely I found the gap in the market in like terms of artistic statues and the dynamic statues. Pretty much everything existed before Figurama Collectors is a museum pose, you know, like just a simple pose, solo. So I found like this opportunity, you know, like to have a dynamic statues that they're going to tell, like let's say they're going to depict the battle scene in all of its details. You get my point. So yeah, the first lesson we have tackled was Ragnarok Thor by Walter Simonsen. Actually, you know, like it's a Viking. It's a Viking punk, I would say, you know, and it's amazing. You know, I am like me personally, I like love Viking. I mean, like the mythology and all of that. So yeah, like that was the first lesson that we have tackled, but all of that because of the lack of dynamic statue, especially the fight or like let's say the battle dioramas. So that was the beginning. Yeah, and since then
No, continue by all means.
yeah, no, I actually I like since then we like never stopped. Yeah, yeah.
So this is the question from me now, because obviously when it comes to statues, and you said that you yourself were a collector, and we've all collected a number of things over the years. And I appreciate it's a bit of a personal question now, but do you remember what your first big collectible statue was that you purchased, or from what project or franchise it was from?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I am not sure if I want to say that. Yeah, like, but definitely, look, to be honest, early on, like the big ones, as the big ones, it was, you know, from Sideshow, Bandai, you know, like the Japanese, and you know, like I had a lot of PVC, like let's say from Bandai and some other companies, which you know, like even from the competition, I would say, you know, like. I owned Dracula by X company that they are a competition, and definitely like much more earlier. Like, but let me tell you something. My true beginning was with action figures for He-Man, Thundercats. Like when I was a little kid, I have the whole collection with the castles, the aircrafts, you name it. Like till now, I like keep all of them. So that was my beginning. As I evolved, like the quality of the collection raised. So yeah, like, but honestly, I collect from all the companies, including our competition. If I like the piece, yeah.
I won't lie, you're speaking to my childhood now, mentioning He-Man and Thundercats. I'm a very happy man.
Yeah, honestly, they're amazing. Yeah, yeah. And if you think about the quality of them, like they used to be pretty good for like I mean for the 80s,
Hmm.
all the swap. I mean, like let's say the battery operated characters that they light the eyes with a very simple battery. Yeah, no, I do believe that they have done a great job back in the 80s with all of these toys. Yeah, definitely. And it's amazing how you see the market evolved. And after that, you like got an upgrade for the action figures, which is like the hot toys. And yeah, it's amazing. And honestly, we like love this domain, like we do something out of passion. And even though the competition sometimes they show great pieces, we like feel happy that everyone is like raising their standards, I would say. And I would proudly say, like after Figurama came to the market, many of the companies they have raised their standards in like terms of poses, details, which like it's a special trait about Figurama collectors. And it doesn't matter, like if you see, like the healthy competition in the market. And as they say, only iron shapes iron, right?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
to bring the conversation very much back to Figurama then, and thank you very much for answering that question.
yes.
We have a question from our YouTube chat here from Brian, who is asking, is there any update on the Attack on Titan statue that you could provide today?
Uh-huh. Actually, this is the production sample over here. I don't know if you can see like part of it. Definitely, the production is like going very well. We are so happy of the production speed. We promised a Q4, and hopefully, we will keep our promise. And like there's something else I'm like going to talk about for the first time. I think that after we have done like I am sure that the armor titan he have all of his like muscle fibers shown
Mhm.
in the prototype that we sold and the people saw it was like a simple coloring for the muscles, which it like was great. But after like we went to production, we saw like there is an opportunity to use a translucent material, like to give you that a flesh look for the muscle fibers of armor titan. And that definitely like cost more than the original coats that we have, but it really adds a lot to the piece. So I am sure like when they're gonna see it, they are gonna fall in love.
Amazing. I'm just looking at that prototype out of at the corner of the screen.
Yeah.
It almost looks like it's the same size as you sitting down. I'm very perplexed by this. It's the scale of it.
It is a big piece, honestly. Like when you carry their torso, it's like a little baby, honestly. It's big. But it's amazing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So from there, Mr. Shanab, I know that there's potentially another thing that you want to talk about today, as it were. And so I'm going to open up the floor to you again now, because I noticed something regarding something upcoming that Figurama has planned that you wanted to talk about here today.
Sure. Actually, I like want to say for the first time, great news for our vampire lovers, that like based on the success of Alucard of Helsing statue, we are planning to release a second Helsing statue. So just wait for it, and they will love what they're gonna see. So there is a second Helsing statue from Figurama Collectors.
Oh, there you go, folks. So if you were able to get your hands on the first one and you're looking for another to add to your collection, sorted. Let your bank accounts fear, as it were. But then again, if you missed out on the first Helsing one, but you want a Figurama Helsing statue, you're now getting the opportunity. This is fantastic news, Mr. Shanab.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah. Honestly, like Helsing again, that's a personal favorite to me. So, and this Blyson, honestly, I don't believe like it has something good in the market. So definitely, we like want to do our best to keep the complexity and the artisticness of Alucard and do it in the second statue, because like we like want to make a coherent line for Alucard of Helsing Ultimate. Yeah.
So I'm I'm not gonna lie, I'm just a bit speechless by all this. I'm speaking as a collector and someone who wishes that my collection could be endless. Seeing what you do, it is genuinely inspiring. And like just looking at the Bleach statue next to you right now, that is still lit up. Like, guys, have you not noticed that the statue is still lit up? Those LEDs have not gone off or anything. They are on forever by the look of it. It really is inspiring to see what you do.
I like want to show you something, Jeremy. Sorry for that. Because actually, like when you put the cable, like there is a button, and you'll see like there is a little LED like as an indicator for the battery health. So we have done this cap, which is like a piece of the pedestal. It's with a magnet, and you can just put it like that. It's like gonna cover everything, and you will not see any technical parts. So it's like fully emerging in the experience of gazing at the Bleach, Ichigo versus Olquera.
You guys have literally thought of everything. This is so good.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Shanab, I know to sort of perhaps take the theme that certain big tech companies like to use.
Yeah.
I'm under the impression there may be one more thing you want to talk about today. Is that right, or am I perhaps telling a porky, as we say?
You are absolutely right. Like this is the biggest the biggest announcement I would say for this year.
Oh wow!
Till the end, and this license again, it's a personal favorite. As I said, it's a childhood license. It's adapted from a game, and it's going to get a remake. So, do you want to announce that?
I mean, good sir, given everything you have said today, I feel I would be stealing your thunder if I announced it. So I would like to leave this to you, Mr. Shanab, as it were.
Sure.
What this is, you've just said it's going to be the biggest announcement of the year for Figurama.
Yeah.
It's something that's being remade. There are all sorts of directions that people's brains could be going in right now. So what is it, Mr. Shanab?
So, actually, after a long negotiations and like coming into like like we like really like needed to convince the licensors to like get this license, like wasn't easy at all. So finally we managed to get Dai no Dai Buken, the Dragon Quests.
Whoa.
Yes.
Okay.
The anime. Yeah.
So there is a Dragon Quest statue coming from Figurama Collectors.
Absolutely. Coming soon. As you know, now the anime is airing, and hopefully very soon, like you will see Figurama Collectors, a Dragon Quest statue, which is Dai no Dai Buken. Definitely. That's going to come very soon. So
this is amazing news. I suppose I will ask Mr. Shanab, are you a gamer yourself when it comes to, say, something like a Dragon Quest? Do you like to play those kind of games?
For sure. Yeah, for sure. I'm, like, honestly, I am an otaku and a nerd, like you can say. So definitely, yes, I like love games, to be honest. I mean, like, unfortunately, because of Figurama Collectors' responsibilities, I play much less, but I am like following the news of the games. I do appreciate all of the new games that are coming. We put our eyes on the games, and actually I am sure that that we got Castlevania license from Konami that we are making a statue for. So, and that was one of my best games back in the days. Yeah.
So it suffice to say, not only your passion for anime and manga is continuing, but your passion for games is still continuing as well. And if anything, you're fusing the two together because, like you said, it is the anime adaptation of Dragon Quest, one of the biggest game franchises in Japan ever, quite simply.
Absolutely, definitely. And the anime is like just amazing. It's I think it's the same production house as Dragon Ball. So all of the action and the fights is just fantastic. So definitely, we will do our best to give it. Like let's say what it deserve. To give it its justice. Because like that was a big challenge for us to get this license, and definitely we have to do something that it should be above and beyond. So yes, as you said, fusing the games with the statues, hopefully that's going to be a masterpiece for this one and for Castlevania.
Amazing stuff. And before we go, everyone, because we did want to make sure that we announced this live on the air as well. Over the week, or in the run-up to Cloud Matsuri, I should say, we have been running a competition on social media for your chance to win the upcoming Figurama Elite Fandom statue from 7 Deadly Sins of Bam versus King. We've had lots of entries. We've got you guys to suggest what your dream statues would be. We have randomly selected from all the participants across Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and I am delighted to say that the winner is from Facebook, and the winner is Caitlin Mitchell, who has said that they would like to see a fight depicted from BlazBlue, so going back into the game realm again, and it's also had an anime before. They would like to see Jin versus Ragnar. That is what they would like to see. So, Caitlin, congratulations. We'll be contacting you in due course to get your details from you, and then that statue will be on its way to you when it is ready. But I do also want to make mention, folks, that if you're interested in getting that Elite Fandom statue of 7 Deadly Sins, Bam vs. King, head over to cloudmatsuri.com right now because you can save $35 off of the pre-order for that. We've got a special code for this weekend, so make sure you head over there if you want to save some money on that pre-order.
Yeah, and I just want to remind the collectors and the fans that the pre-order is going to open tomorrow at 11 p.m. GST, the 23rd of November, 11 p.m. GST in our website. So I wish everybody good luck. We have just 777 statues available. So I wish all the fans that they can get a grab of their piece. Yeah, it's highly limited, and I will wish them best of luck tomorrow.
You heard it there, folks. Get your pre-order in. And if there's one thing we've all determined from this conversation today, let our bank accounts fear, but our fandom shine bright, because that is what that's certainly how I'm feeling right now. Mr. Shanab, it has been absolutely fantastic speaking to you today here at Cloud Matsuri, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Jeremy, and thank you, Cloud Matsuri. You have been a great interviewer, I would say. I had fun with this 45 minutes, and definitely we will see you soon. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Thank you very much. And everybody watching, Cloud Matsuri is not done yet. We'll be back shortly with more, so stay tuned.